All right. Hello. Welcome to the No More Bohica podcast, number 13. Sitting with me today is my beautiful daughter, Madeline, and Pete Capoletti, the poobah, who's been fishing for answers in Forest Lake now.
What up?
And then there's me, your host, Gary Crosby Klobitsky Jr., a.k.a. Biddy. So we've got a lot to talk about today, starting with the heat wave. How about it, huh?
It's a smoke show out there.
I mean, yeah, wow. It's supposed to hit 100 degrees here in Minnesota. And some people think there's no global warming.
Well, the globe is warming, but who's to blame is my question.
Yeah, that's a great question. So tomorrow we got our golf tournament, our annual golf tournament, alumni golf tournament with St. Thomas. So we're really excited about that. We get to see all our buddies, and we get to play golf in the 96 degree heat and humidity.
The St. Thomas Football Alumni Golf Tournament. What is this? It's got to be, 10, 15 years? Things been going on?
Yeah, well, no, a lot longer than that.
20?
We used to go back in 2003, 2004,
Okay.
2005, 2006. I remember all those years. Most of you probably weren't there in 2006 that might watch the video, but anyways, those of you that were probably remember that it's an old embarrassing story of mine. See, I almost died of mold poisoning over a long time ago, and about 6 months later, we had the alumni golf tournament that year after my near-death experience, and the doctors had put me on antidepressants, which they thought I needed them. So they asked me if I was depressed. I'm like, yeah, I ballooned up to 400 pounds. Wouldn't you be depressed?
I would be depressed.
I mean, but I didn't need antidepressants. That was a huge
anybody?
It was a huge mistake for me. But in any case, what happened at the golf tournament was, and what I didn't know, is that when you're on these pills, you have like 1 or 2 cocktails, and it's boom.
You're not supposed to have 10 cocktails when you're on those?
Yeah, or even 1 or 2.
Who knew?
Right. I mean, next thing I knew, I had the lampshade on my head.
Uh-huh.
I was doing the hula with the St. Thomas flag.
I saw the whole thing.
It was like, if it had been in any other group other than my football buddies, it probably would have been like humiliating and embarrassing to the point where I'd never talk about it. But I think it's important to talk about mistakes that you make.
Embarrassing situations.
How do people learn, not to repeat the same mistakes if you don't admit to them and talk about them, right? Anyways.
So golf tournament tomorrow. Looking forward to see all the old friends.
Yeah.
It's going to be 112 out, but we'll make the best of it.
So nice. They schedule it during the hottest week of the year. That's so maybe they could move it to June.
That'd be great.
It's a little cooler in June. Food for thought, Coach. Think about it. I doubt you'll watch our video, but if you do...
But you should.
You should. No doubt. If anybody should watch it, it's
right.
the Coach. Jeez. So we went to church together today. We had a blast. It was a lot of fun. Long sermon.
Yep, long.
But one of the things that I picked up in church today at Poobah's church was the pastor said good Christians should get involved politically. And all I could think of was...
Here we are.
Yeah. I mean, come on. We're trying to get elected. We're good Christians. We want to end corruption. Lord knows we got enough bad Christians in our political system. How about some good ones?
So we thought about that. There's a bunch of bad Christians and a bunch of bad politicians.
Right.
So here we are to fill the gap.
And then there's bad politicians that are also bad Christians.
Oh,
it's
double
like
whammy.
A double negative. That's never good. Never, ever. Like I wrote here, Christians often do bad things in the name of God, and we're still repeating the same mistakes of the past. I mean, did we learn nothing from the Great Crusades?
I could write a book on that.
Did we learn nothing from the Spanish Inquisition? Did we learn nothing from slavery? I mean, geez, Louise. We had so-called good Christians justifying slavery with the Bible for many centuries, okay? So I find it a really valid argument, this whole good Christian, bad Christian. I don't know. That's such a... How do you define that? I know a bad Christian would be somebody that pretends to be a Christian.
That would be a bad Christian.
Yeah, somebody whose last name begins with a T, maybe. But anyways, I think all Christians should get involved politically because how the heck are we going to put an end to this mess if we just turn a blind eye? Speaking of blind eyes,
So you know what? It's kind of funny. Well, on that note, so many people are like, well, I don't want to get involved. I just, faith in God, faith in Jesus, obviously, which is the most important thing. But I don't want to get involved in the political thing. That's not my, if someone's got to do it,
right?
For God's sake, or for goodness sakes.
Right. I mean, somebody does need to stand up and put their life on the line.
And if not a good Christian, then who?
This. Right. We got to put an end to this.
How about a struggling Christian? Yeah, I'll try.
So, how about an update on the war? I mean, what?
Are we talking about the Iraq War or the Ukraine War?
I don't know. Which war do you want to talk about?
Both.
Okay. So, didn't Trump say he was going to end the Ukraine war on day one?
Day one. So that's over, right? He said he was going to end the Ukraine war on day one of his presidency. About a year and a half ago or so.
Yeah, that's kind of puzzling because I know we don't get a lot of news on that. We don't get a lot of news.
No, they like to cover that. You know what? We don't get a lot of news on it, but I bet the money is still a-flowing.
Right. And then there's this whole Iraq war and the impending economic collapse. I mean, let's face it, people. The last time gas prices doubled, it took about 3 years for the total collapse of the economy, even though a lot of dominoes fell between 2006 and 2009. Just as a public service message, I want to highlight what a friend of mine named Fabes did back in 2008. He took all his money out of the market and put it into like a money market savings account. And he just took all his money out of the market. He actually took it out a year early.
Smart.
Okay? And when the economic collapse happened and the stock market crashed, he went and put all his money back into the market and was buying
buy low, sell high,
buying everything at a third of the price it was before the market collapsed. So,
we're not here to give financial advice.
No, definitely not.
But
definitely not. However, it clearly works. I mean, do you think President Trump is planning for when the economy collapses?
Well, I know his kids are. They're getting government contracts to start crypto companies and mining companies to mine essential mining things.
Wow.
Essential, what do they call it?
So Daddy's using his position to line up more wealth for his family.
Just like Joe Biden did with Hunter, yes.
What a shock.
Yeah.
What a shock. What a shock. So, back to my list. Oh, you know what? Does anybody care about the war anymore?
I don't care about it. Does anybody care about it? It's not, is anybody covering it? Is anybody watching the news about it?
I'll tell you when I'm really going to start
Rocky cares about it.
Because I do care, but...
I do too, but...
When I'm really going to start caring about it again is when people start dying. Speaking of people dying, what do you think of ICE? I mean, they're back to their old tricks, right?
Are they?
Yeah. There's like 3 new people dead in the last month.
Did they resist arrest?
Here's the best part. It's not the best part about that, but from a political standpoint, the one nice thing that happened was one of the people that got murdered was in Maine, where the director of the Homeland Security, which controls ICE, is a senator. Okay, the senator of Maine is the head of that whole thing. And somebody got killed right in her backyard.
Oh, God.
So now her constituents are in an uproar, and they're slowing down ICE activity again. It's like...
well, yeah, all they got to do is protest once and Trump backs down.
It's just crazy. Why do we need to go to war with our own people? That's what I don't get. I don't understand it at all. And why do we need secret police running around in unmarked cars shooting up innocent people? How many innocent people have been killed now by ICE? I can think of a half dozen like that. And
yeah, it's not good.
That's
it's not good.
Yeah.
Well,
one is too many.
One is too many.
It's.
But you should never resist arrest.
Together we stand, divided we fall, people. If we don't learn how to stand together and respect our differences, we're effed. I mean, our species is gonna perish. Geez, all you gotta do is look at the world today. we talked about the lightning storms in the last podcast, and oh my God, the West is full of forest fires and full of lightning storms. And you know what? When I moved there in 2007, it was full of snow and lots of great skiing. Now we've got muddy bare hills, lots of lightning, and lots of forest fires. There weren't tons of forest fires 20 years ago.
No. When we were growing up, we would never see forest fires. It would never happen. Now it's happening every summer.
All the time.
Every summer.
I've lived in Colorado now for 2 decades, and the metamorphosis I've seen has been astounding.
So that's either by design or the forestry division is just not doing their job, or maybe both. I don't know.
You know, the sad truth of it is with the global warming, it's creating more dry spots in the forests. It's creating easier opportunities for forest fires, and then you add in these increase in lightning storms, these vicious, massive, act of God lightning storms that I've been seeing out west. We didn't have those 20 years ago.
Nope.
We've always had lightning. Lightning's always been a risk out there in the mountains, but the storms that we're seeing now, oh my God. And what they're predicting by the year 2030, I think we should all be concerned. I think we should all be concerned, and I think we should all pay attention to the environment and what's happening, not just here but worldwide, because there's a lot of pain coming there too, and it's a bleak outlook in the near future, to be honest. And I hate to say that.
Could be,
because we're supposed to be, you know, a happy-go-lucky Pooh-Bah and Biddy. We're going to run for president. We're going to put an end to the presidential corruption.
Yep.
And the reason we're going to do that is because in order to get rid of this corruption, it's going to take somebody that's willing to get shot. You know, somebody that's willing to sacrifice their life for the good of the country, for their fellow human beings. So I've agreed to volunteer to get shot first.
Wow.
And Pooh-Bah has volunteered.
Can I
second.
do like how about like 9th or 10th?
Yeah, you give up your vice presidency.
I'm kidding.
But you know, chances of us getting elected and shot are pretty slim. Probably have to get shot before the election to get elected. I mean, it worked for Teabag, so maybe it worked for
right.
us. But you know, and I can't joke enough about how that ear grew back. I mean, that was. So,
I mean, everything's on the table.
So
was it fake? Was it not fake? What,
Who
you know,
knows?
it's all on the table now. You know,
Yeah, I mean,
you pick it. I don't believe any
How
of it.
can you trust anything?
Nothing.
All right, so let's switch gears. We have created our own political party. It's called the No More Bohica Party. No More Bohica Anti-Corruption Party, to be specific, okay? And we're trying to debate whether we should go with the color black or the color purple. I think back in black would be a great slogan.
Yep.
Let's get out of the red. Let's get back in black. Let's, you know, why are we running this huge deficit and paying for everyone else's problems worldwide? Why don't we just,
I've been wondering that forever.
why don't we just pay for our own problems for a while?
We've got enough of those to keep us busy.
And right the ship, right. So our campaign platform, we are going to discuss that in various podcasts over the next couple years before the next election. But here's part of our promises. Number one, we will abolish lobbying.
Done.
Yeah, done with lobbying.
Done.
Screw this legalized corruption. The politicians have been lining their pockets now for several decades.
Oh, forever, really.
And they've destroyed all our antitrust laws. They've opened the door for these mega corporations to take over our country. And we, as U.S. citizens, are just stuck here holding the bag going, what do we do?
No one can give a politician any money for any reason, for any time, ever, at all. And if you do, you go to jail for what, 100 years?
Well, whatever it takes.
Okay.
Yeah, we would want to enact new laws to create greater scrutiny of elected officials.
Oh, yeah.
No more insider trading. No more, I become a Speaker of the House and
5 years later, I'm worth
30
$80
years
million
later, I've
on a $140,000 salary.
accumulated $100 million on a $100,000 salary. That's a Democrat. Okay. Now, and then we got this quote unquote Republican president that made $1.2 billion on cryptocurrency in the year 2025. So
it's a good gig if you can get it.
oh my God, has anybody made that kind of money on crypto? I mean, wow. What is he selling to make $1.2 billion? Air? Or how about promises? How about promises
false promises
to go to war and raise the gas prices? How about promises to give all the mining rights to my sons so they can dish it out to you guys?
Yeah.
You know, and you can form partnerships and make sure they get paid.
So my daughter has been driving my pickup truck, my tow vehicle, for a while, and she filled it up the other day. A pickup truck, $112.
Oh my God! I almost had another heart attack.
Me too.
$112. I'm freaking out every time I go to the pump. I mean,
Yeah, me too.
I'm semi-retired. I drive for a living, and you know, it's been a huge cut in income for me. These gas prices doubling. But back to our presidential promises. So you mentioned penalties for taking bribes and corruption. So
no more bribes.
one of the best ideas Puba had was to do yearly independent audits of all elected officials.
Absolutely every one of them.
You know, and if we catch them taking money under the table from AIPAC
or anybody
or Israel or the Mossad or anybody connected to that fascist regime, you know, they instantly lose their jobs
and go to jail.
Right, and then they have open election in that state to elect somebody who will hopefully be less corrupt.
And then they'll go to jail too.
Right.
If they do the same thing.
Right, we're done. We're drawing a line in the sand here, just like Gaddafi. We're not gonna put up with this corruption with the American government anymore. We're fed up with it. We're sick of it, and it's got to end. I mean, I thought, you know, I voted for Trump in 2016, and I jumped off the teabag bandwagon in 2017 when all the racists came out of the woodwork. And I saw him doing nothing about it. I couldn't stand behind this guy at that point. I mean, I voted for him in 2016 because I thought our government was horribly corrupt and needed somebody new to go in there and shake it up and hopefully put an end to the corruption.
Well, he said all the right things.
Oh, yeah, he sure did.
He just didn't do any of them.
He did. He's a great salesman, just like Clinton was. But, you know, so am I guilty? Sure. I voted for him in 2016. I gladly accept my guilt. Okay. Did I jump off the train in 2017? Hell yeah, I did. Because I don't tolerate racism. I don't tolerate bigotry. I don't tolerate that kind of viewpoint amongst my fellow human beings. Now, do I have friends that are bigots? Sadly, I do. Okay. And you can't always choose your friends, can you, Puba?
Well,
I mean, you could choose not to talk to them, but I choose instead to help them. Okay. You know, I could alienate these people and cut them out of my life real easy. Wouldn't be hard at all. However, who's going to teach them how to become better human beings? Who's going to take that responsibility? You know, we talk about Christians just trying to take responsibility for our actions. Well, I prefer to stay friends with them so I can continue to beat on them mentally and explain to them every chance I get how wrong it is to behave that way. How wrong it is to treat other human beings as lesser than you. Because every human being was created equal in God's eyes. I saw this clear as day in my vision. Every human being is equal in God's eyes. Man, woman, black, white, everything in between.
Yellow, green, purple.
It doesn't matter. You know, God loves every human being. God loves you whether you love God or not. It doesn't matter. You could be an atheist. You could be agnostic. You could be any religion in the world. God loves you. You're a human being. You have a soul. You have a piece of God within you. You have
Amen, brother.
Open line of communication that you can access anytime you want. Anytime. Whether you choose to access it or not is up to you. Okay? But in any case, we would actually be real Christians if elected, not fake Christians.
Well, how about real struggling Christians?
Real struggling, willing to admit.
Yeah, willing to admit.
All our faults, of which I have many. And those of you that know me would easily agree to that.
Me too.
So let's go back to our campaign promises.
Okay.
One thing that's really important to me, and I believe it's important to Puba and everyone else that listens to this podcast, is we need to stop financing Israel. I mean, we're sending them all our taxpayers' money, and then they're sending.
You know, they've got free healthcare, free college, advanced education, free military support, free everything.
Thanks, United States taxpayer.
Yeah, hey, yeah, no problem. It's on me.
Right, it's on me. Well, not anymore. I'm self-employed. I don't pay tax.
I do. I pay enough for both of us.
I know you do. And in any case, did you know that it's not even against the law to pay tax?
I've heard something about that. Yes, in fact, Marjorie Taylor Greene is advocating of total revolt. The former congresswoman who either got run out or retired. I saw her online advocating total revolt. Don't pay your taxes.
Right, and you know what? She might be right. Because under federal law, you are only required to pay tax if you live in the District of Columbia.
You know, she'll be dodging bullets
right?
if that catches on.
So, right, no doubt. You are only required to pay tax if you live in the District of Columbia. So what makes you required to pay tax is when you sign the 1040, it's called the 1040 confessional form. When you confess to making X amount of income and you sign that form, now the IRS can come after you with everything they got if you don't pay what they say you owe. Okay? However, if you do not sign that form, they don't have a leg to stand on. And you know what? I can prove it. Because I purposely did not file my taxes in 2017. Okay?
But don't tell anyone.
I'm a bad person. And I did not file my taxes in 2017. I had good reasons for not doing it. I was going to owe a bunch of money.
Well, that's a good reason.
I didn't have any, so I was like, you know what? I can't afford to pay.
Makes sense to me.
You know, I had to cash out some 401ks or something because of some reason I don't remember, and the tax bill on it was more than I could pay, and so I was like, you know what? I'm just not going to file. And then I forgot about it. Okay, it wasn't like I didn't intend to not file. I knew I didn't have the money, so I was like, I'll just push it off. Well, then about a year later, I remembered that, hey, I forgot to file those taxes. And you know what? The government never said nothing to me about it.
Well, hey.
So I was like, well, I still don't have the money, so, you know, maybe I'll just blow this off another year and wait till I see something. So about 3-4 years later, I got a letter that said, hey, you never filed taxes in the year 2017. You owe us a tax return. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. I put the letter on my stack of letters and forgot about it. And a couple years later, I was like digging through some old mail and throwing it all away because I'm a pack rat and like an idiot. And I found this letter and I'm like, oh, I got this letter like 2 years ago. I hadn't gotten a single letter
You're
since.
the least of their worries, Gary. One guy that forgot one time.
So Poobah's done some digging into this. There are over 800,000 people in the United States that do not pay taxes. And did you know that the top 10 all owe over $100 million apiece in taxes? Seriously.
So, you know, okay, I was shocked. MTG, who seems to be aging in reverse, but that's a whole nother story, said, what I saw her online, she's advocating total revolt. It's the only thing that'll work. Don't pay your taxes until we install a new government. I couldn't believe my ears.
Yeah, and honestly, that might be what it takes because we need to find some way to do a peaceful revolution. Violent revolution isn't going to solve any problems.
That'll get ugly.
Getting people killed is not part of my agenda. However, talking about interesting facts that are out there is. And in the end, we want to bring people together, right? But in a nation that's run by a corrupt government, by a Congress that just turns a blind eye to the genocide in Israel and just keeps writing them checks so they can.
Who did we give more money to?
Cash in every time.
Ukraine, Israel, or the European Union, NATO.
I don't know. All the above.
Okay.
They yeah. I think we need to quit trying to solve the world's problems and focus on solving our own.
I mean, it makes too much sense.
It does. It does.
That's why they won't do it.
That's why we probably
you can't steal that money.
Right.
So they won't do it.
Right. Right. There's no way to make a profit. You know, politicians and profit should not be synonymous. If you're a politician, if you're a public official, you should be there for the people. That's a great responsibility. It's not about money.
Nope.
I mean, as a matter of fact, maybe they shouldn't even be paid. That way we could really track them. I mean, that's probably not.
Yeah, they need their 140 to live.
Yeah, they need their 140, right? Just to pay rent in the District of Columbia is probably $140,000 a year. I mean, jeez. Okay, so our next campaign promises is we need to move to a flat tax. Okay.
Again, makes too much sense.
Yeah. our current system is just ripe with corruption and opportunities for corruption. Why do W-2 employees pay up to 50% tax? Well, the uber rich pay 8% or less net tax rate.
0?
Yeah, some of them pay 0. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous, the inequities.
So Gary, if you were king and you could pass a flat tax, and everybody that made whatever over a certain amount, 70,000, whatever, 50,000,
sure,
you got to pay X% flat tax on everybody. What's that number? Just off the top of your head.
Honestly, what do I think the number should be?
Yep.
What do I think would solve all our problems?
Mm-hmm.
Using my brilliant brain to get fuzzy math? 15%.
15.
Yeah.
God only asked for 10.
Right. 15% because our country's screwed. Okay? God ain't running our country. As a matter of fact, you could honestly make an argument that the opposite of God
yes,
is
you could.
running our country.
Yes, you could.
And we'll just leave it at that. But somebody did make 41 trips to Epstein Island that have been completely erased from the internet. When you Google it, you'll find that he made 0 trips to Epstein Island. So is it 41 or is it 0?
Well, the whole thing we're not supposed to pay attention to it. So I don't know.
The only 41 to 0 I want to hear is when the Vikings beat the Packers.
No, 41 donut. That's when the Vikings got beat by the Giants in the playoffs. 41 donut.
No, I want to see the Vikings score 41 and the Packers score 0.
Okay.
That would be a great start for the year. Probably not going to happen, but that's the only 41 to 0 I want to talk about.
God, I can't wait till football season.
Me either.
My goodness, I need a break.
So that's it. I mean, we need to stop all this deficit spending. That's another campaign promise. We're going to stop the deficit spending. Why are we constantly spending money we don't have? As if it grows on trees.
I've tried that. It doesn't work.
It seems to me that the rich elite, the cabal, the Olympian Council, whoever the hell is running our country, they want to turn us into Greece, man. They want to turn us into a world of economic slavery like the nation of Greece. The Greeks are screwed, okay? Mm-hmm. Their debt goes up over $1 trillion every year now, just in interest alone. And that's after they pay billions in interest. It still goes up $1 trillion. They're in a hopeless situation. They can never get out.
Sounds like our debt.
I know. And look at us. Like we're not even...
I mean, we're never paying that back.
We're not paying attention to the Greeks. So what are we going to do? Declare bankruptcy?
I don't know. Or just say forget it.
Default on all the TV.
Just write it off. Wipe it out.
I mean, the nation of Greece should declare world bankruptcy. They don't. It's not like their currency is going to get destroyed. The poor people of Greece live in abject poverty now. I mean, they've turned it into a slave nation, and that's what they're trying to do here in the U.S. The further they drop us into debt, the closer we get to becoming a slave nation, just like Greece. So take a look at the world around you. See what's going on. And this thing that's been going on in Greece has been going on for decades.
So who do we owe the money to? Ourselves?
The people that own the bonds, I guess.
Well, you know what? Come and get it. Come get it.
So that leads me to a great question, though. What can we do to eliminate this deficit? I mean, we got to have a plan, right, if we want to get elected.
I say we just wipe it out.
Well, here's what I say we do. I say we should legalize marijuana and all other natural drugs. I'm serious.
Okay.
And tax the hell out of it. Okay?
Mike?
Because, look, people were paying way more illegally not that long ago. Now it's getting cheap that it's legal. But
now it's legal, but
we're not really taxing it.
Yeah.
Because the feds don't want to do the right thing. Okay?
Someone's getting a payoff there.
I mean, marijuana is not harmful. George Washington grew it in his garden. Okay? Marijuana didn't get demonized until I think it was like 1926 or whatever when they did away with prohibition. The Prohibition Task Force, they were all going to lose their job, about 200 agents, and the man in charge of the Prohibition Task Force decided that rather than have them lose their jobs, he'd just find a new enemy to fight. So he creatively demonized marijuana, and they outlawed that and turned the Prohibition Task Force into the original version of the DEA. Okay, and marijuana wasn't hurting anybody. As a matter of fact, it's completely harmless. I mean, how many stoned drivers are out there killing people on the road?
Yeah,
and how many
I don't
drunk
know.
drivers are out there killing people on the road?
Plenty.
The truth is, if you look into it, you're going to find that the majority is drunk drivers. Okay, alcohol is a poison. Things that grow from the ground are generally not poisonous unless you use man-made
So do you think that's enough money to
turn
even touch the interest on the deficit?
All I know is it's a
Something better
step
than
in the
nothing.
right direction.
You're right. For once.
We gotta
A step in the right
we gotta
direction.
tackle it from every direction. We have to raise more revenue without harming the American people. We need to put an end to this senseless spending worldwide and trying to solve everyone else's problem. Okay, we need to put an end to this corruption that allows big business to own our government and do whatever the hell they want.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
And we need a tax platform that's fair for all citizens.
Yep.
Not just the less than 1% uber rich people.
Yep. Everybody pays flat tax. No questions asked.
And I have one other personal thing that if I'm elected president, will be part of my platform. I am going to enact laws to end racism. Okay? And now I know that's impossible.
You can't do that.
That's what everybody says.
And who's going to decide who's racist and what's racist?
Look, everybody knows who the racists are. The FBI knows. You think they don't have a file on every police officer on planet Earth? Okay? Except for maybe the ICE racists that are out there killing people.
I don't know. I think you're barking up the wrong tree.
Maybe.
But I'll still be your vice president.
But what I want to do is enact laws that enforce more transparency. Okay? That actually make it against the law to be a public official and be, confirmed racist. Okay? And trust me, the FBI knows who these people are. They got files on everybody. It all started back in Hoover's day. You think it stopped with all the data centers, with all the information they gather on us, with the way they're trying to run our electric bills sky high so they can control us even more?
No, the Patriot Act in the 90s. They've been collecting data ever since.
Yeah, and at our continued expense, in many ways.
9/11. Don't get me started on 9/11, by the way.
Right. So we're going to run for president, Poobah and Biddy. If you're fed up with the government, if you think that somebody's needed to do an end with corruption, you could send a message to the government by writing in Poobah and Biddy in 2028. And I can honestly say I come into contact with a lot of people with things that I do, and I haven't met one single American
Who's satisfied with the way things are going?
Not one.
Not one.
The only Americans I see that are happy with what's going on are some of the idiots on the news channel.
Well, they're getting bribed.
I see them, but come on. we're stuck here in limbo, man.
Mm-hmm.
We are, and until somebody's willing to stand up and actually take a bullet to enact the kind of change we need in this country, we're not going to see the change. So I think MJD's
MTG. Marjorie Taylor Greene.
God, MTG.
Again, she's aging backwards. Don't ask me how.
I was thinking MGD. That's like
that's
a beer,
Miller
right?
Genuine Draft.
Yeah, right.
We'll go get some.
Oh, that sounds like a brilliant plan. But in any case, please vote for Biddy and Poobah in 2028, especially if you're fed up with the government. It's a great way to send the government a message. Hey, none of you clowns deserve our vote. But we do want to vote, and we want to vote for somebody that's actually going to make a difference, somebody that's actually going to try to eliminate corruption in our government and actually do it and put their life on the line. Because that's what's going to take. Whoever does that is going to get shot, okay? Whether it's us, Tucker Carlson, or somebody else that gets elected, if they're truly going to enact change, truly get rid of corruption.
Yeah, look out.
Look out, yeah. If it's not big money trying to assassinate them, the Mossad will jump right in.
Oh boy.
Because they're if I get elected, the Mossad doesn't have any videos on me, okay? So I won't go to war and then make peace and then go back to war after the Israeli government goes up in arms and threatens me with whatever video they've got in their Mossad vault. Ramsey's got some pretty poignant ideas about what kind of videos they are.
Well, they'll just make them with AI. That's the other problem.
Yeah, but computer experts can fish
Yeah.
through that. I mean, I don't feel like that's a threat because we have forensic computer experts that can put the kibosh on that kind of false knowledge. Okay. However, if it's a real video, they can verify that as well. And you have to wonder if there isn't some kind of video in one of those Israeli vaults, because
on every politician.
I mean, what's going on? Why are we still at war? Why?
Well, why did it ever start?
Why did it start? Yeah. I challenge each and every person that watches this video to ask everyone you know if they were in favor of the war when it started.
Well, no one was.
Well, I knew a couple.
Well, a couple broadcasters on Fox News were. But that's about it.
I got one friend in.
No way.
Yeah, in Faribault, Minnesota. Faribault's very.
Well, some of the boomers that watch Fox News are just biblically take whatever they say as gospel and are for it no matter what. So some of those folks, but that's a small percentage.
I can't watch Fox.
I can't either. I quit years ago.
When I was trying to watch all the news channels when the war first started to get a perspective on how each different segment of our news armada treats it, so I could see what everyone's point of view was. I could only watch Fox for like 5 minutes. I swear to God, I turned it to Fox for like 5 minutes, so I wanted to hear what they had to say. And they had this round table of like 6 reporters, and they're all laughing and joking and backslapping each other and making fun of gay people and transgender people, as if that's okay. As if it's okay to sit on TV and make fun of other people in such a despicable fashion.
I didn't see that.
It was horrible, Poobah. It made me want to puke. I was like,
I don't like anybody making fun and picking on people.
Yeah, and they're reporters, right? They're supposed to be reporting stuff, not making news about themselves being complete idiots. You know, is that what they think the American public want to see? Is people making fun of gay people and transgender people? Look.
Well,
I have noticed a strong increase in transgender people in Colorado Springs, which you might find surprising considering it's one of the conservative bastions of the world. But there are a lot, okay? And I can honestly
I think
say,
it's all the weird drugs they prescribe to people.
No, this is what I want to say. I come into contact with these people on a daily basis, lots of them, okay? And I got to tell you, they're some of the nicest, most wonderful people on planet Earth, all right? So anybody that says that, to shun somebody that's different than you clearly doesn't understand what it means to be a human being, all right? To be a human being, to do what Jesus wanted us to do, we have to love our neighbor like ourselves. And gay people, transgender people, they're our neighbors, okay? Now, if you're one of those people that considers them enemy, like the people on Fox, then what did Jesus tell us? He told us to love our enemy, right?
That's a tough one, but yeah, he did.
Yeah, it is tough.
Yeah.
Who said being a Christian was supposed to be easy, right? It's easy when you only pay attention to what matters to you. It's not so easy when you're forced to do things like Jesus told you to do, and you're not doing it. So you're not even attempting
Guilty as charged.
Not even attempting it. So before you go and laugh at these idiots on Fox for making fun of gay people, and if you think it's funny, then, good luck. Good luck, right? Because for a fact, I believe that Jesus said, love your neighbor like yourself. I believe that Jesus said, love your enemy. I believe that Jesus said, love your God. What I don't believe is that Jesus said, love your enemy like yourself, unless, of course, they're gay, black, Jewish, Muslim, or different than you. Okay? That is not what that's not what Jesus said.
No.
That's not what Jesus said. He said, love your neighbor. And if your neighbor is gay or trans or somewhere in between, so what? Unless you're convinced they're an alien and you could prove it, which I don't doubt that there's aliens.
What if your
among
neighbor's
us.
not reasonable?
So?
Okay.
What if your government's not reasonable?
Well, they're not.
All right, so they're not. So what do we
I
do?
don't love them.
Yeah. Well, you know what? If you have an unreasonable neighbor, all you can do is kill them with kindness and love your neighbor like yourself. And, you know, if they crap on you the whole time, so be it. I mean, early Christians, they got fed to the lions and,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, no kidding.
killed for sport, you know. And then they loved it so much they turned around and started killing other races for sport. So all of us are guilty. Doesn't matter if you're a Christian, a Muslim, an atheist, agnostic, a Hindu, a Buddhist, Confucianist, Shintoism, every ism and whatever on planet Earth, we all answer to the same God. We all pray to the same God.
I believe that.
You know, and just because we view God as different, I mean, I'm a Christian, we're Christians, we worship the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, right? But there's only one God. But, you know, a Muslim will tell a Christian that we worship three gods. No, we don't. We worship God. God had a son named Jesus, and God lives in us in the Holy Spirit. And as a matter of fact, I saw that directly in my vision, and I wrote about it in my book, that every person on planet Earth has a soul, and that soul is a piece of the one God and is what gives us freedom of choice.
Awesome.
So we're connected to God whether we choose to believe it or not. But anyways, before we end, because we're going to talk fantasy football real quick.
Yes.
I just want to say that God gave me a message, and it's real simple. It's like this. Together we stand a chance to survive what's coming. Together we stand. Divided we fall. Okay? Just remember that. Together we stand. Divided we fall. All right? So, fantasy football.
So football season's coming right up, and I'm not a big fantasy football guy. I'm not. I mean, I usually get in a team in a league just for the heck of it. Then about halfway through the season, I start forgetting to put my lineup in and whatever. I don't care. But boy, oh boy, am I excited for NFL football. It's getting closer and closer, and I just enjoy the Sunday break. You go to church on Sunday, and then then a couple hours of watching mindless entertainment, and I love football. I love watching it, and I'm stoked for Vikings Sundays. Can't wait.
And I'm stoked too. I've been drafting fantasy football best ball teams now for 3 months. I'm way into it. Don't ask me how I did last year.
How'd you do last year?
Oh, you had to. Well, last year I did this video where I had a bunch of eggs thrown on me because in case I failed, I was preparing ahead of time. So if you're interested, there's an egg on face video. It's about a minute long.
Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
We'll pull it up.
Yeah, it's under my name, Gary Klobitsky. It's also under my Instagram account somewhere in my stories. But in any case, yeah, I had egg on my face last year.
Literally?
Literally, yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I probably retained about 25% of what I put in, which means that I failed 75% of the time, which is really bad, especially for a guy that's been playing fantasy football for 40 years and has been a champion so many times I can't count. I mean, but this year, hope springs anew. I'm back in. I'm back in full force, and I'm getting tons of value on one of my new favorite players, Kyler Murray. Pooba asked me this morning, is Kyler Murray good for fantasy? I'm like, heck yeah. I mean, not only is he awesome when he's healthy,
he's got a chance to kick some tail.
I think
he should be motivated, and he's got a good team and good receivers, and he should be motivated to kick some tail and get a new contract. It could be a lot of fun.
He's playing for the money, too.
Playing for the money. Nothing better.
I mean, in fantasy...
There's only one way to motivate these guys.
Right.
And that's playing for the money.
Anytime they're playing for a new contract...
Oh, boy. Look out.
They haven't gotten the fat contract yet.
Yeah, look out.
Career year.
Yep.
That's
no injuries.
It's a fantasy tip for you guys. If they're playing for the money, move them up your draft board a little ahead of people that are safe in their little zone and not playing for a new contract, because there's always a sense of urgency with these players when they're playing for a new contract.
Yep, and suddenly they're not injured.
Right. They get healthier quicker. But yeah, I'm psyched. I'm past. I've learned my last year. You know, I got rookie fever. I had quarterback fever. I was doing everything wrong. This year, got a whole new strategy. I'm still employing some of my old strategies just in case. But you know, ask me this question in about 6 months, and hopefully I'll be jumping for joy. Because I got to find a way to get our message noticed. You know, together we stand, divided we fall. And haven't figured out how to do that yet. So I figure, you know what?
Well, if you can win one of those like $1 million fantasy football
then I'd be
challenges,
I'd be able to get up on a
Yes.
big old stage in front of a microphone. And
Right.
say, together we stand, divided we fall. And maybe get people to pay attention to the message and the vision that I had. Visions. So, in any case, we're not going to podcast now for about another month. I'm going to Germany next in about 10 days for a couple weeks. And when I get back, around Labor Day, we'll have our next podcast. I'll be able to talk about the temperature, because I'm going to talk to everybody I meet in Germany. Where am I going? Germany, Austria, and Hungary, and see what they have to say about what's going on in America. I'm really curious, actually. I'm wondering how much brain damage I'm going to get from the locals, to be honest, especially since we went back to war. I mean, if our gas prices are bad, I wonder what theirs are like. Seriously. But we really thank you for supporting us and watching our podcast. And please, vote for Biddy and Poobah in 2028.
That's right.
All right. Well, have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. God bless.
Thank you.